Hello and welcome to another episode of the BashTalk podcast. Today I have a special guest, that's Majid. And Majid is someone who's very active in the Nelson and surrounding area in terms of kind of community activity and other actions that you do. And Majid, if I can ask you just to introduce yourself.
So I'm Madge. So I work for a charity called Positive Action in the Community, PAC, and I'm team leader for the youth and community provision. So basically a youth worker, and then I do other community projects as well.
Okay, I've noticed you've got a hoodie that says "Walk" on it.
Yeah.
Do you want to? So is that?
It's walk and talk.
Yep.
So as well as working for a charity, I also run my own small charity as well called Walk and Talk.
Okay.
So it's to raise awareness for mental health.
Okay.
And we do that by taking people out on walks and all over the country, and even small group walks, just to get people out, just trying to tackle social isolation, getting people out so they can meet new people and make new friends.
Okay. So, as in, I'm not trying to not get you more information out, but I'm going to ask you in more detail about that shortly. But now, I just want to, what I normally do, I start off and I get information about where the person's from, the background, stuff like that. So, born and bred Nelson?
Yeah. So I'm 41 now. I had to think about it earlier. So I've all brought up in Nelson, and then I have moved around a bit. I haven't lived in Burnley, but I've end up always going back to Nelson.
Okay. And so are you based in Nelson now as well, or?
Yeah, I'm just on the boundary of Colne and Nelson at the moment.
Okay, but then you did spend some time in some kind of, let's just say, areas that you wouldn't normally expect an Asian person to go to.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I go to different, like towns. We do different walks in different kind of areas, countryside, and even places that sometimes people have said to me, it's a bit rough, Madge. Don't be going there.
Yeah.
I always, make an effort, and I will go to those places. Nothing will stop me. Because I'm a youth worker as well. I do detached youth work, so we go to different places, approaching young children and just seeing what the issues are around those areas.
So the main role you do is the youth stuff.
Yeah.
And then you've also got your own, which is the walk and talk.
Yeah.
So with regards to the youth work that you're doing, just give us a bit of background as to how you got into it and obviously why. So your kind of motivations to do it.
It was just so I used to be in retail for about 18 years, and whilst I was in retail, I didn't really enjoy the job. Well, I was just stuck in a rut really, because when I was younger, I was a bit of an idiot. I used to go out partying, and I did get into trouble with the police quite a few times. So I had a criminal record.
Is this like high school, college-ish time?
Yeah, and then so even growing up, early 20s, I'm 41 now, but even early 20s, I was going out, getting into trouble, getting into fights, scraps. So I had a criminal record. So that always, but whilst I worked in retail, I always wanted to do like charity work. So I used to do a lot of charity events, and people used to say to me, "Why don't you do it as a job?" But I was always worried about a DBS check. And I thought, I won't pass that, so
okay.
I won't. But then 2018, one of my good mates, Simon Walker, he passed away, so due to mental health issues.
Okay.
And that's when I started Walk and Talk, because of what he did, we were all our friendship group, we were all struggling. And I thought, and I've always enjoyed walking, so one of my schoolmates, we used to always once a month meet up and go for a walk. Walk like we used to walk from Nelson to Hebden Bridge and back, and that's when we were sharing our problems. We both walking and just talking and just letting our problems out. Like he whinging about his missus, she's doing in bed now, So we were just letting things. I thought this is a good idea. It's a good way to get people out, and it's beautiful as well where we live, countryside. So I just put a post on Facebook and asked if anyone would be interested, and straight away had hundreds and hundreds of people commenting and said that's a brilliant idea. So that's where we started off Walk and Talk.
So now I don't want to trigger any obviously trauma in terms of when your friend passed away, but was it so around the time that you kind of got the news, and I'm guessing obviously would have impacted you guys in a very negative way. You guys would have been feeling quite down about it as well. How easy was it, or how difficult was it to kind of get everybody to even open up about how they felt about it? Because I know blokes can sometimes be a bit like, I'm a bit down about it. That's it.
Yeah.
Whereas inside they could be just thinking, they could be in full blown sorrow, really, really down, not wanting to work, not wanting to eat, all the signs of say being depressed, but then they'd be like, no, I'm not depressed. Just my mate. He's just gone. I feel bad. But how hard was it, or even easy was it to kind of get over that first hurdle?
Yeah, I reached up with the lads and we were all talking about it, and we didn't think that Simon had any issues, or he just because I talked to, he was having a laugh, banter all the time, and we couldn't tell that he was struggling with mental health issues, and we were all same. So because of that, I sort of start saying to the lads, we need, if there's any issues, always just call us. It doesn't matter what time it is. And then since then, I've noticed lads are starting to talk now.
Mm.
They don't, they won't admit they've got mental health issues, but it's because they want to be that manly, man kind
Yeah,
of thing. But more actually talking about it now.
Okay. And then the kind of conversations that you're having. So it's not to say that you're not necessarily saying you're a therapist or like a psychologist or psychiatrist, anything like that, but it's more that someone's got something on their chest and they just want to like go for a walk and have a little just talk about your issues kind of thing, basically.
Yeah, so people come on our walks, and sometimes it's not even about talking, because some people don't want to talk. So I'll encourage them to come, and just about getting out of the house and getting some fresh air, a bit of exercise, and even just having a laugh, getting away from leaving your problems at home, having a laugh, forgetting about your problems. So that works as well.
So in terms of the kind of uptake, so you start off like maybe a few people, like a friends group.
Yeah.
What is it now today?
And now, so since we started in 2018, and like I said, we started off about 15 of us on the first walk, and now like, one of the big walks we did last year was Pendle Three Peaks, and we had 130 people register. So, we've always done Yorkshire Three Peaks. It's a well-known walk, and we do that every year. We take groups out. But then we thought, what about our hills on our own doorstep? We've got Pendle Hill, we've got Wheatsid in Barlick, and we've got Bullsworth Hill just top of Nelson. So I thought, let's do this. And everyone, even I'll be honest, I thought it's going to be easy. I thought, Yorkshire Three Peaks is tough. Pendle Three Peaks, easy. It's on our doorstep. It wasn't. It's a lot tougher than Yorkshire. And so many people registered thinking, oh, yeah, it'll be easy. It wasn't. So from 130, about 70 managed to complete it. And even they were gone, like they were struggling. And
thing is, I do wish that people would stop underestimating Pendle Hill for the starting point.
Yeah.
Because you think, oh yeah, the steps, you'll get up there. But I mean, even when I was a bit fitter, it did just do like, you just give it a push going up the stairs.
You'll always feel it no matter what.
Yeah.
When I first started going up, I used to go up Pendle when I was young, and when you're young, you can just run up hills and you don't feel it.
Yeah.
So as I've got older, I started going up. I used to stop about 4 or 5 times. And I used to pretend that I'm just taking a picture of the scenery. I just have that rest, like pulling camera out, pretending. But then eventually, if you keep doing it, like now I can do it without stopping. But it is good. It's good to just stop and take in the scenery as well.
Yeah.
So if people are tired, just take a picture. It is nice.
Well, if you take the normal route, which is kind of up the stairs, and then you just kind of stop halfway, and then you look back, it is a lovely view. But it always kind of used to crack me up sometimes, because now obviously I'm not the fittest, so you'll go there and then it'll be like some elder people, maybe they'll be in that 60s or 70s, they'll have a backpack on, the boots on, and they're just like non-stop. You look at them thinking, okay, you just set the precedent here, but I think I'll just rest a little bit. But I think it's good though, because one, obviously there's a fitness impact, there's a mental impact as well. And what do you see in the future for this? I mean, have you kind of maybe forged links with other organisations that are looking to work alongside you as well now? Or?
Yeah, we've already working with other organisations like building bridges. So we do walks together. We're all one team now. Open Door in Cowan. The manager's called Nick. Through Walk and Talk, he's become one of my best friends. So we do walks with them as well. So we do it all as a team now, because to be honest, I was just one-man band.
Right.
But now we've got volunteers as well.
Yeah.
And we're working really closely with building bridges, Open Door, and even at NHS, they even refer people to us now. So we're doing quite well.
That's good. And then this is the one aspect, this is something I wanted to discuss with you, but it does relate directly to this, but I kind of touched on it earlier as well, which is there is it's not to bring it to a race issue, but there is some positive impact as well in terms of you have been able to break some boundaries as well, haven't you? In
Yeah.
terms of one, as an individual, and two, with the walk and talk, because through working with the other organisations, it's not just a case of it's a load of one ethnicity people going for a walk. It's you've got mixed
Yeah.
bunch. How's that gone for you?
So when I first started Walk and Talk, and to be honest, it was just English, white females, males who were attending, and I struggled, with the Asian community as well.
Yeah.
Especially when they heard mental health, they thought no. So I spoke to my mates. One of my good friends was a childhood friend. He's always enjoyed walking, so he used to come. And I said to him, I said, well, I'm struggling, to get the age. He said, it's that mental health thing.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't realize it's an illness. They just need educating a bit more about it. And so I spoke to my mates, who are Asian, and I said, look, I said, oh, is it everyone who's got mental on the walk? Because they're not mental.
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
they're just thinking it's just someone who's mental, you know. So I had to explain to them. I said, it's nothing to do with that. I said, it's getting people out, meeting new people, and it's stopping people having mental health issues. When you're stuck indoors, like with COVID, a lot of people were told they'd stay indoors, and it had a knock-on effect. People stopped getting back into, struggling to get into the community and talking, just having no one to talk to. It took me a while, but now I've got so many Asian ladies attending, men, different age groups as well.
Yeah.
People that you think, oh, they'll never walk. And even when I remember first telling my mum, I said I walked Hebden Bridge, my day off. She was like, "Oh, you pagal or something." She goes, "What, what do you mean walking all that way? Why didn't you get a bus?" Or, I said, "No, it's walking." I said, "You feel so much better."
Yeah.
And even she didn't understand it. So, but now mashallah, we're doing really well now. We've got people from all different backgrounds, religion, race. I've got even like the Polish community joining us and Lithuanian. They've started joining our walks.
Yeah.
So it's good.
I think it's good. And then I'm in the process of doing that. You've kind of introducing, kind of mixing the cultures, I guess. And
Yeah.
how's that gone for the actual people meeting people? And,
Yeah, honestly, the feedback I'm getting, I've had people say, look, bloody hell, this amazing, normally wouldn't mingle with these kind of people, because of where they live. There's not that many Asians, or they don't work with any Asians. So they said, you're just all the same, really. They have a laugh, everyone's sharing food and just having a laugh, and they just realize that everyone is actually the same.
Yeah.
We're all there just for a laugh and banter, and there to support each other.
I think food's a good uniting factor, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Food. The other month we did a walk for Pendle first timers. So everyone can see Pendle Hill from Burnley, Nelson, Colne. But there's people who can see it, they see it every day, but they've never actually been up. And there's certain barriers that they might not know the route how to get there, or they might not drive, so they don't know if there's a bus route to get to Barter.
Yeah.
So we organised with building bridges, and we organised transport. We took them there, and a couple of the ladies brought samosas. And honestly, they were amazing. I was buzzing. I was like, I need to do more walks like this about them. And they shared them with everyone, and everyone got on. And there's never ever been an issue. And all I hear is positive things about it, and a lot of people made friends from these walks. And now, because I don't have time to do walks daily or even weekly sometimes, so people are doing their own, they made friends and they have their own little groups now, and they go out on walks, when in the free time.
Yeah. And then, for context, we're filming this on a Monday, and it's nice out there. So
Yeah.
You walking anywhere today?
Definitely won't be walking anywhere today. No, just resting. I got you a gift as well, actually.
Oh,
because you're always giving your time to everyone, and I thought I'll bring you a little gift.
oh, nice one, Jazakallah. Thank you very much. The walk and talk mug and a little keyring to go with it, mashallah. Jazakallah, thank you very much. I think this will be one of the first actual guest additions to be on the show, mashallah.
Yeah, you just need a kettle now, I think.
Yeah. Jazakallah, thank you very much. On me.
Oh yeah, so going back, you asked about how I got into the work. So because of Walk and Talk, so people were following me. So I've got a massive following on Facebook with our page.
Yeah.
Over 4K now. And through that, so the CEO of PAC, she'd been following the page. She got told by her nephew about Walk and Talk.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had a job going in Nelson Safe Space because they take next to the zone.
Yeah.
So it's a supported accommodation for young
Yeah.
people, who are homeless. So they had a job going there. I thought, oh, that's my kind of work. That's wanted to work with young people.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, I'm gonna give it a go. Might go for it.
How many years ago was this?
2019, this was.
Okay.
So I thought I'd give it a go. And I knew one of the staff members who worked for PAC, and she said, "No, honestly, go for it, Madge." She said, "And just in the interview, just be honest with them."
So at this point, you were kind of thinking, look, I've had my fun,
Yeah,
and you were worried that because it might kind of catch up to you,
yeah,
but you just went for
yeah.
it.
So I went, and in the interview, they didn't really even ask about criminal convictions, but I just declared everything. I said, because afterwards they have to do a full DBS check. So I
Yeah.
thought it's now my turn, time to just be honest and openly, and I spoke to him about it. I went through everything. DBS came back, and I sat with the CEO, and I just explained everything, and they asked me what made me change. So I told, now I've finally had to grow up because I've got children of my own.
Yeah.
And I want to give back, to the community. And it was, when I was young, I was dumb. I'm doing silly things, but I want to change. I have changed. And because of Walk and Talk, they've seen that as well. So they said, look, we want to give you an opportunity. So in a way, Walk and Talk did help me with that as well. And now, since I've been there, I've been within 4 years. I've worked my way up. So now I'm team leader of youth and community provision.
Oh, good.
And from there, youth work. I don't know how. I just think I got blagged into covering a shift at a youth club in Cowan called Waterside. I think went in just to cover one Wednesday evening when they were struggling for staff, and now I'm running somehow. I don't know how. I'm running the youth club. So yeah, and it's amazing. I love it. I love working with young people and showing them you can change your life around as well.
And they with people in corner, they're all right with you. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've had people say, "Look, man, you've got a beard. You're going to Colne, Barlake, all these areas. Do you not get any racial abuse?" And I never, ever have ever. No one. The young lads, they come and fist bump me. They know who I am, and I've had to build that respect and build that relationship up with them. And I've got a lot of respect from the young ones, especially in Colne. They look at me as the mate. They don't look at me as like, oh, that's my youth worker. Just look at someone that they can actually talk to and they can trust.
That's good. So in a 4 year span, I'm hoping that there's some success stories. You've seen people you've kind of helped people shift them in the right direction and stuff like that. Or
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. There's been so many, young people obviously growing up, and you see them you meet them and they're causing antisocial behaviour. A few years down the line, you end up seeing them working, and you have a chat with them, and they've changed their life around. We've got young people who've been on the streets bored, didn't know what to do. They just wanted to scrap, fight, with each other. So we've got them into boxing, been taking them into local boxing gym.
oh yeah,
They've gone into boxing, and we've seen a massive change, and we've had good feedback from schools as well.
So there's a bit of there's an outlet for them, a bit of a release, like pent up frustration. It's good. So you get to see the kind of pitfalls. You get to see where the struggles are with the youth. What do you want? So if I had a big pot here and it was like just full of gold coins and money, and I said, right, here, have that. What do you do with it?
I think we need to, not us really, we can't do anything, we don't really have a say, but the government, they need to start putting funding into these schools and into community. Like we're having to raise money ourselves to run our youth club. Youth clubs, which I'm sure I heard you mention to Gary Fark the other day. Youth clubs, they closed down. When we were kids, there were so many youth clubs.
Yes.
Well, then the government closed them all down, and then like little charities like ours are reopening them. The government need to put money in towards these youth clubs, and even like the child poverty. Kids are starving. School that some aren't getting fed. Even if you're working, people are struggling now. So there needs to be more the government helping people. In this country.
Agreed. So government should step up. So rather than, because at the moment you're kind of like funding yourselves almost. Well,
yeah. We're having to fundraise ourselves.
Any fundraisers planned anytime soon? We can plug them.
So with Walk and Talk, it's not just walking that we do. So I raise money for other local charities as well. Like last year, we raised 5,000, just over 5,000 for dementia positive Pendle, dementia charity based in Pendle. And even at Christmas, I'll do challenges. I'll do like daft challenges where people sponsor me, and then I put the money back to the community. So Christmas, we do a community meal for everybody. At Hodge House, we've had that filled a few times. Christmas, I'm doing a food bank as well. I sponsor a local football team as well in Burnley at the moment, kids team under 11s, full age colts. So everything we raise, we put it back into the community, and that's what we want to continue doing. Next challenge is Mount Snowdon. We do it every year, but we take groups, so that's on 7th of September.
So is that like mixed experience, mixed ability groups? So?
Yeah, different age groups. We even have young uns turning up, and we've elders come as well. So we've already got quite a few people signed up to that.
But apparently you can get a tram to the top as well, can't you?
So there is a train, but no, you'd rather walk because that train costs about 40 quid, so you don't want to.
So stick to walking.
And there's no rush with us as well. Some people might think, oh, that's a big mountain. But there's no rush. We take our time, we enjoy the views, have a laugh, sit down, eat. So it's not a race, it's not a competition. Just everyone just takes the time, enjoy the views, take it all in.
Nice. Now, you do the youth stuff, so is it mainly in the Corn area now that you do that?
Colin and Nelson, so I work with legend Asher. Do you know Asher?
I've made contact with him.
Yeah,
so I hope one day in the future he'll
yeah, so me and Ashy on Friday evenings, we're around, at the moment we're concentrating on earbed. We were in Barlick, so we've talked to young people there. There was a lot of antisocial behaviour in Barlick, so we built a good relationship up with the kids, and we've finally opened a youth club. So now we concentrate on Earbear, and then we'll probably work our way back into Colne and Nelson as well.
So there was trouble in Barlick?
Yeah, wow. Just with the kids. It's just, just bored and nothing to do because there's no youth club. So now we've, worked with the young people, asked them what they want, and we've opened a youth club now, and it's open twice a week at the moment.
I think it just goes to show how out of touch I am. I always thought Barlick was just quiet.
No, these quiet areas, that's where kids are struggling because there's nothing really to do. There's nothing around there. So that's why they were just bored, just being kids, really.
Hey, just gotta get the energy out of somewhere. So what did you do for the Barlick lot?
So we've got a youth bus, which LCC have. So me, Ashley, and another youth worker, we were going into Barlick for 12 weeks every Friday night, built that relationship up. They've got, back of the youth bus, they have a PlayStation, Xbox, music. We're making them brews, toast, giving them snacks, build that relationship up, asked them what they wanted, and then now there's a youth club there for them to attend.
Basically, rather than, I don't know, I'm hazarding a guess here, they might have just been being antisocial or something like that. I'm assuming, and now they've maybe got a bit somewhere to just chill.
Yeah, that's what it is. Even the kids that come to our youth club in Colne, that's what they want. They just want somewhere safe where they can use Wi-Fi, chill, have a laugh with their mates, listen to music, and that's all.
Yeah. It's a shame there's not more of them, but I think, it's obviously with talks like this and other people having conversations at a higher level, we can hope for the best with that as well. So with this in mind, there was one thing we were talking about before while we were setting this up, which is you and a good friend of yours, actually, you mentioned something about there's some kind of event that you want to do in September. Yeah. Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so I lived in Burnley for a bit and I moved to Hull Sark, and them days, this was quite a long time ago now, them days, there weren't any other Asians in Hull Sark, and I was like the only one, and I'm a bit worried, because there were a lot of BNP following in Burnley those days.
Back in the day,
and everyone said we just need to be careful, and I'm like, can't just, because of that, not move to a certain area. So I thought I'll give it a go anyway, and everyone were actually all right. They were decent. I met a lad just lived around the corner called Adam, and he basically took me under his wing. He looked after me. He's introduced me to everyone, all the lads around there. So I ended up having a good friendship with people there. So we put a post on last week on Facebook, just explaining, looking at Adam, full of tattoos on his face, and he's a big guy, but he's a friendly giant. Really, really nice guy, one of the nicest guys I've ever met. But if you looked at him, you walk in the street, you think, oh, I don't want to approach him.
Yeah.
And he is a handy lad as well, but he's a nice guy though. He's not a bully.
Yeah.
So anyway, put a post on Facebook just explaining our friendship because he came to see me, with the troubles that's been going on,
Yeah.
and he just came to see me. Came to call and he said, "How's things going, Madge? Everything?" I just said, "It's just a shame what's going on, all these race riots." And I said, I'm worried about not myself but our kids and women. And he even agreed. He said, "No, it's wrong." He said he's totally against it. He said, "If anyone came to Burnley, he said, I'll be their first one to protect these mosques." He said it's daft like people attacking mosques. And so anyway, so put that on, and then a few other people from Burnley started adding me on Facebook, and a guy called Steve Whitaker, he put a post on the other day, and one of our other mates, Pajie, that they want to do like a family event at Thompson Park, Bubbles in the Park.
Yep.
So it was supposed to happen this Sunday, but there's been some issues. Someone's complained, so the council have put a stop to it. But the council are willing to work with everyone and have a family fun day
Yep. So
in
it's
September now.
kind of like the silver lining or the blessing in disguise, because
Yeah.
it would have initially been kind of a just let's all get together. Now it's a case of
Yeah.
the council are like, no, I'll tell you what, we'll work with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are you thinking around September?
Yeah, so they're organising it, Steve and Atcha. So they said it'll be September time and it'll be more organised. So there will be like security staff working, and they're even thinking about getting some fairground rides for the kids as well.
That'd be nice, yeah.
So yeah, so it'll be more organised. So it's a lot safer for everyone as well. So yeah, it'll be good.
And then hopefully I can extend an invite to any of the organisers as well.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
in the
I'm
future
sure
we
they'll
can-
be more than happy to come and have a chat with you.
Yeah, it'd be good because I think in light of all the things that have happened like the past week and the build up to it, over the week before that as well, it'd be nice just to have a bit of positivity, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. And to be honest, I saw a lot of negativity at the beginning, and you're always going to get that. There's always a few idiots, but from this, I've seen a lot more positive things. The community's brought the community of Burnley and Pendle together. So Archie and Steve, they're from Burnley, so I spoke to Archie earlier, and I said I'm willing to help, and he said, "Oh, that'll be amazing." So we're going to make it not just like for Burnley, but Burnley and Pendle. So extend the invite to everyone.
Yeah. I mean, I'd happily just any media help you need with that.
Yeah, no,
To jump on board.
sure they'll appreciate that.
Yeah. So as we're kind of rounding off time-wise, sorry, I keep looking at the clock, so I get because it records in like 30-minute segments and cuts each time. So is there anything that you want to kind of get off your chest or kind of communicate to the people that are listening? Because a lot of people that are going to be listening are going to be, people that your followers and people that subscribe, which is a lot of Nelson people mainly for me. Anything you want to kind of, like a message you want to give them, anything like that?
I just think people, if they've got certain opinions, or they've got some, like you saying something, they want to get something off the chest, just speak about it, but not in an aggressive, violent manner. Even sharing silly things on Facebook, it causes more, problems for everyone. Just have a chat with you. I'm sure everyone these days will have an Asian friend or whatever, but even I'm available. My details on Facebook, got Walk and Talk Facebook page. If you want to have a chat, just sit down, I'll buy them a brew. If they want a pint, I'll buy them a pint. Just talk about these things instead of just listening to what people are sharing on Facebook, because majority of stuff you see on Facebook is a load of bollocks.
Yeah.
You need to actually speak to people, and if you actually sit down, you'll realise we've got same views on certain things.
Yeah, and I think because it kind of goes back to the example when you mentioned about when you went to live in Hallsack for a bit.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a mirror, because when people used to talk to us about Hallsack, because around the time, obviously, because we're similar in age, it used to be a case of like, you got to be a bit careful there. They don't like Pakistanis there, this, that, the other. But then obviously, like you've gone there, it's like couldn't be further from the truth. But the mirror here is that someone who's coming around our area, or well, my area in Nelson, thinking, heavy Asian population, you might not be that welcome there. It couldn't be further from the truth.
No.
People literally, they got their 9-to-5 job, they got their kids, they just want to go to work, come home, have lunch, spend some time with their family, spend some time with their friends. It's the same story, but in Hallside, and the same story in the Every Street area of Nelson.
Yeah, like some of my English friends, they say they've got Asian neighbours and they love it, because every time there's an event on Eid or anything like that, they get you free food, samosas, rice, everything. They're loving it.
Yeah, I mean,
So yeah, that's what it's all about. Everyone, I'm pretty sure around here everyone gets on with each other.
yeah.
You are going to get some people stirring hatred and things, but from what I've seen, it's probably for people not from this area.
I think one thing I will do, it's not going to be for a couple of weeks, but I am going to do a specialist podcast specifically on trying to figure out how to spot misinformation, because
Yeah,
there's people on my own Facebook friend list that I've looked at a post from them and I thought, you know, you just kind of like slap your forehead and think, did you really just share that? It's something so blatant. And like, I don't want to go into detail here, but you've probably experienced the same where you're like, you know, you could have just rang me and I could have told you
yeah,
this is just not true. But then you obviously have to sort that out yourself afterwards. But I will, I might even bring yourself and a few others into that when I finally tidy this place up and make it for multiple people. But that is something that needs to be clarified as well, because some of the stuff that just gets shared on Facebook is just like
yeah. I
head
just
scratching.
try to ignore it now because I don't want to like spoil my day or week.
Yeah,
But yeah, first, I tried pulling people up on things like that, but it just turns into an argument, and then
yeah.
a competition of who's done what, and so I'm trying to keep away from all that negativity at the moment.
I think it's now a case of I'll just leave you to it.
Yeah, sometimes best to leave them to it, but then also at the same time you want to let people know
Hmm.
as well, it's not right and what they're sharing isn't right. It doesn't, you know, they shouldn't be sharing things like that, but
Yeah,
can't stop everyone doing, things like that.
it is what it is. Right, but on that note, I think the only thing I want to double check. So you got a Facebook page, anyway, that's a
We've
good find
got
you.
Instagram, we've even got Snapchat, X, all over. We've got a website as well. So we've got an app, web app, so people can just have a look what walks there are and they can register. So with the Snowdon walk, it is £35 to register, but that includes your transport. You get a walk and talk t-shirt as well. And then you get to have me in your company and have a laugh as well. And if the people do want to come, bring samosas.
Yeah, bring some smalls as well. That's what you need. So yeah, honestly, Majie, I just want to say thank you for coming, because literally just like one phone call, you were straight onto it. Like there have been times in the past where when I've wanted to kind of speak to someone and say, would you like to come on the podcast? It's like oohing and eyeing, and they're expecting like a shoulder massage and
Yeah.
and all sorts. I'm just like, nah, I'm not doing any of that. And then with yourself, just straight up, let's do it.
Yeah, and to be honest, I hate videos and stuff like this, which from the past. I don't
Yeah,
like doing stuff like this, but I thought, no, you've asked me. And to be honest, you've helped me in a way because you motivated me. If you saw me last week, I was looking rough, beard out here, hair out here, but been for a fresh haircut and I'm looking younger. Even though I looked in the mirror earlier, looked, I went, whoa, don't recognise it, look young. Mrs. says, no, you still look old. So
well,
she put me down there.
I think once you get a few white sprouting, then it's like that.
Yeah, I've got quite a few now, but yeah, no, I like it. I'm not going to start using just for men yet.
Well, you know what they say, the white hairs are a sign of wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, on that note, thank you again, and thank you for tuning in, guys. And remember the usual spiel about subscribing and liking and all that rubbish. So, on to the next one.
Thank you.